Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VMS Pro Gold Season 2. We are ready to have you here. Unfortunately, our main commentator, Edward, had to bail out at last second, so I am Nick Domino, and I will be your main commentator and broadcaster today. And, well, to help me, guide me through this and see if we can't get throughout the other end, I have James with me. James, one of the admins of the league, and welcome, James, to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, really excited. First round of the second season here at Imola, and the grid looks very, very competitive, and I cannot wait for this to get started.
It's definitely gonna be really, really exciting, and well, these drivers are not just tonight fighting for the glory to race around Imola. They're also fighting for the glory of some prize money. Can't you talk a little bit about that? What are we actually fighting here for?
Yeah, so first of all, they are fighting for 3 coveted promotion spots to the Platinum Series, where the best of the best go out to battle. And also with that, there's a $500 prize pool for the Pro Series as well. 9 rounds across 9 different tracks, starting here at Imola, finishing off at it's Bahrain, off the top of my head.
I think it's Spa. I think it's Spa. We have.
Oh yeah, Spa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spa. And there's going to be lots of action-packed racing to come. So we're just at the end of practice, just about to get into LMGT3 qualifying. Drivers will have 10 minutes to set their lap times, and track limits are on strict. So any excursion, and that's your lap time deleted.
Definitely. And with this particular track, you know, the qualifying is really, really key around here. It's gonna be interesting, but we have a lot of new names, and as I, tend to not commentate that much, I am the butcher of names. I'm gonna pronounce all of these names wrong, and that's just how it's gonna be. But we also for this particular season have some new LMGT3 cars. The Ford Mustang, the growling of the V8 have entered, and then we also have the Porsche and the Aston Martin. So it's gonna be really exciting to see how these new LMGT3s are gonna impact the picking order, and all of the cars have gotten a BOP, balance of performance update, as we see Marco in the Aston Martin 777 going out of the pits here, and just getting up to the man. He's just saying, oh, keep it there, stop, and now it's green, and qualifying is going. So James, qualifying here for the LMGT3s, it should be fairly straightforward. How long is it that they're gonna be running out there, because they're not running the whole 25 minutes, are they?
No, they're not. So they have got the first 10 minutes of this 25-minute session. So once the timer hits 15 minutes left in the top left, that is when the checkered flag will be out, and so drivers have to finish their laps after then and then return to pit lane. Then we'll have a couple-minute break before the hypercars get underway. They'll only get about 6-7 laps at most. And so it's a real frenzy to get track position as well here at Imola, such a small circuit to share 18 cars around.
Yeah, definitely. And what we are seeing right in here is that one of our, the drivers who got promotion last season, Kaspersek here, he has changed his BMW out for the McLaren. and he's just trying to get some heat into those tires, but still staying behind Marco there in front. And we have actually one of the big V8s behind there in the what car would that be? That would be Zach right behind him here in the Ford, and that's but they're really close right now and just juggling for position and trying to not get on top of each other. So I think we will see a queue starting to form here, but getting across the finish line here, or up onto this start finish line here, is Marco, and he will start us off. So let's see what kind of lap times these pro drivers are gonna do around here. Pro gold, we of course have some other tiers as well. We have platinum, and we do have silver. So we're exciting to see what this season is gonna provide us here into the first chicane. It looks fairly tightly. Just be really careful not to go over track limits, because they are strict and you tend to gain a lot from just cutting a little bit, and these drivers will try and gain every advantage that they can into the Villeneuve chicane here, and just up onto the hairpin with a 30.8 into the first sector. So it looks fairly tidy out there right now, and let's just see how it goes across the rest of the lap.
Yeah, Zach Doran with a 29.9 in the first sector is just behind him, as well as Kasperzik, and both of those tracking just a little bit faster. But at Imola, curb usage is everything. You want to use every single millimeter of those curves, so you're riding a fine edge between a fast lap and an invalid lap.
Oh, you definitely are, and they're just getting up here into the chicane here. This is really where you can gain and lose your lap times, because you have to really attack those curbs, and having a car around here that really is gonna eat those curbs are golden. So they really want to push that, because you can gain so much lap time. But let's just see how it's gonna be when they're getting some lap times in for the qualifying. I'm just getting our tower up on the left so you guys can see.
So first across the line is Kasperzik with 44.2, quickly beaten to a 42.9 by Zach Doran, Nick Dealey, and Aaron DeBastis slotting in just behind. So few drivers invalidating their first attempts here, but they've still got another 6 minutes to get their laps in.
We have Neto here getting across the line, and he will be in P6. And yeah, that was really what we were talking about here. Joe Martel picking that TF Sport Corvette, getting the Americans on here as well. Let's see the lap times. He's been around 1 second slow, and he will be slowly into P10. So he will actually be 3 seconds off, and that's not the lap that he would want. Trying to see if he can start a new one here. I think maybe tire warmer could be a factor there.
Yeah, you will see some drivers opting to do a couple of build laps. The tires tend to keep their pace for 3 or 4 laps, so there's still room for improvement further on.
Definitely, and we are just seeing here, but he's still 0.8 of a second off in the first sector. But as I look onto our timing table, it's Zach here is really piling on the pressure, and is the only one that is below 30 in the first sector. So he really gains a lot of time in that first sector alone, but is also quite fast in the middle sector. So he could really be someone that we have to look out for here, and he will he improve the lap time? He will improve and goes up to 0.8 faster on his lap here and into pole position.
Yeah, Marco Bischoff goes into second, William Giovanni now third, Nico Barkley fourth, Julian Weisenberger in fifth. 1 second at the moment covering your top 5, but half a second to Marco Bischoff for Zach Doran. Who's going to be able to catch him?
Yeah, that's really what is going to be interesting about this season as well, with a lot of new names I haven't seen before here. So it's gonna be interesting. I have no idea about most of the drivers, and here with Nico Barkley, but again with those beautiful, beautiful Mustangs out there. But it looks like they're quite strong around here, and could that actually be what I was talking about before, that they are really glad on those curbs and eating those curbs to breakfast actually?
Yeah, the Mustang's been a very good car since it's been introduced. Rides the curbs reasonably well, but it also has a lot of straight line speed, gets out the corners quite well as well. So you've got a very well balanced car around here, which you do need with a lot of medium to low speed corners, as well as a couple of key straights.
Yeah, definitely. And with the gravel hill, let's see Nico Barkley here is going on and starting a new lap, and let's see if he can improve at all. He is P4, so he's looking to get into that coveted top 3, and you really want to get, even if you can't be in the, on pole, you really want to be in the top 3, even the top 5 here, especially in the first race, because it's all about getting off the ground with a positive and with some points on the board. Oh, he's sliding all around, and those tires will not agree with him. They will be sending a letter, don't push us that much, and he will lose a lot of time around the track, and I don't think that will be faster. But as we don't see a time from him, I think he has invalidated that lap time actually.
Yeah, invalid lap time, running just a little bit wide at the Villeneuve chicane. Adrian Kobaki, slightly too much curb in that second chicane, right on the limit of track limit. Good exit out of 3 into Villeneuve now, using all the curb on the entry over the first curb. Use as much of the second curb as you can and use all the track on the exit. Now down into Toza, and I believe he's lost that lap.
That is an invalid lap as well. And as you just, Aaron here just trying to keep it all on. We just got onto the camera as we just saw a lot of dust there, and the BMW is just trying to keep it on the narrow straight here. He's trying to get it out there, but he's also on an invalid lap, and we have a lot of them, and you talked about it being the keys to the race. Just getting a good lap time in, or just a valid lap time in, will keep you into the well, you said top 5 to me earlier. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, top 5. Top 5 if you get a good clean lap in. You're looking maybe around a 43.4, 43.3 with a clean lap. That'll be plenty for top 5, as Marco Bischoff just improves just a small bit, and Zach Doran has called it a day. He's back in pit lane.
Yes, we are getting closer and closer to the end of LMGT3 qualifying here. It has been just going around, and we're just seeing here, but Marco Bischoff here, he is not gonna let the American muscles up there just going around with it. And that is definitely wide, and I don't think that will be an improvement. Though he has been getting a cut off track as well. Is Julian on? He's on an outlap, so I think he will be parking it as well. And I think most of our drivers are on the last lap here. Adrian Kubecki, is he gonna improve out of the Villeneuve chicane? No, he's also well, half a second off. So, well, if he can keep that pace, he could be looking to get into the top 4, maybe even top 5, as you talked about before. And you really want that, because this is a track that is so difficult to overtake on.
Yeah, it certainly is difficult, and it's proving how difficult the track limits are as well. You only get 3 points in the race, and so keeping tally of them is going to be crucial. Otherwise, you will get a drive-through. But through into Variante Alta now comes Adrian Kobaki. He's only 2 tenths down in the middle sector. A lot of curb in the first and second part, and runs slightly wide as he runs down towards the final couple of corners.
Into the last 2 corners here. This is really where you have to be patient, because you want to be on the throttle so early, and you need to be, but you have to be patient onto the straight here, and he will be into the pits. So that is him calling it off, and I can see, I think the last one is Joe Martel, who is gonna set a lap time here in the Corvette. Oh, he could use a bit more curb there. He's not really hitting those apexes as well as he wants to, and I think he's gonna finish this lap time here as we are looking to get closer to the LMDH qualifying.
Yeah, Joe Martel improves his time, but not his position. And that, I believe, is everyone for qualifying. Yua Maki Jupi improves his lap time. He goes up to P4, and Nico Barkley drops to P5 then. So it's Zach Duran on pole for your GT3s.
Yeah, definitely. And well, he put that lap in. I think he did 3 timed laps, and well, he did that quite early. And Jerome Martel have to start getting into the pits because I think we are getting some of these hypercars out. And even the hypercars, it has changed from last season. Last season we had the LMDHs being like the go-to car, but BOP has changed. So now we have the LMHs like the Ferrari and the Peugeot, right?
Yeah, so the Ferrari Peugeots, and the Toyotas, they seem to be a more preferred car. A lot of the LMDH cars got hit with around 20 kilos of weight, and that has completely swung the balance of performance round from an LMDH beneficiary to an LMH beneficiary now. And so we've only got a couple of LMDH cars in our hypercar category, but it's mainly LMHs, so I won't be surprised if there is a Ferrari on pole.
There's also quite a lot of them to actually take from. So as you can see on the left of your screen, we do have 6 of our 17 hypercars are from the Italian brand. But there is one car down there, and that has been my personal favorite. We have seen one of our plat drivers deciding to use it as well, and that's like, you know, the Alpine. And you know, if you can get in there and say, all right, I'm gonna drive the Alpine, you're like your favorite in my book, and you're gonna get a lot of screen time. It is a beautiful car.
Yeah, the Alpine is quite popular in terms of sounding. The Cadillac's the one that always gets the attention for its soundtrack, but you can't go wrong with a whistling V6.
No, definitely not. And also just, you know, the blue metal color, and that they are actually using the logo as the rear taillights. I really like that. It has a lot of quality in that, but it is not the fastest car, even when the LMDHs was really good here. But now, as you can see here, we just have a monster of a queue up there, all the way up here. And this is actually Boyega, who has decided to be the first car there. He is in the Lamborghini, and we saw some of the best overtakes from one of our Lamborghini drivers last season.
Yeah, Darren Rozchek making a few spectacular moves last season, as we are about 5 seconds away from the start of Hypercar qualifying as the green light on exit turns on.
You hear a lot of cars going over there, and there's also a lot of the Peugeots out here with Olivier Demolins, as he was here last season as well, and he's one of the drivers who got in automatic promotion as well. So great to see him out there again driving around, and he's changed from the Porsche. We saw a lot of Porsches last season, but we have really only found one this season, and that is Martin in the Jota 38. And you and I are not agreeing on this livery. I think it's the best Porsche livery, and you are not a fan.
No, for me it doesn't quite work as well as the Hertz does, but everyone's got different tastes in liveries, and I don't disrespect yours.
No, but I clearly disrespect yours. That's that's something you have to accept here with liveries. No, but it's Just in general, as we talked about, it looked better on the caddy when they did it, and we just saw one of the it's Adam Clasper here in the 83 AF Corsa, one of the yellow lightnings out there, the yellow Ferraris, and he's just about to start a lap. Let's just try and actually see if we go on board here with him and see if we can see how he's going. So now just accelerating onto the straight, and what you can hear is actually when the engine cuts off, that's really when the hybrid system goes in and helps this car with how the performance is. We're going really aggressive on the braking, hitting the curbs. Oh, it's a fairly safe, just going flat out here, going all the way over to the curve. He is definitely trying to get a banger in here, but still pushing. Oh, could use a bit more curb there into the Villeneuve chicane. And now here into the last of the into the hairpin. Oh, losing a lot of curb there into the inside. This is not looking like the tightest of lap from Adam, but just getting one on the board as we talked about and we saw before, because the off tracks are so strict as they are here. You can lose it at any time getting it downhill here. And this is so difficult this session because the car does not want to brake and you need to get it to turn and brake at the same time. It's not easy. Getting now into the chicane, Valiente Alta, hitting those curbs really hard and not trying to get all the way into the kitty litter. He doesn't do that. Don't look at it as the purple times there. That's just because no Hypercars have put in a lap time yet. Down into the second to last corner and now into the last corner. He will just sliding a little bit, losing a bit more time. So it's interesting to see if he's gonna take it. But the first gauntlet has been thrown down by Adam here, and that is a lap time on the board of a 1:30.6.
Yeah, slightly off in the first sector by 10th or 2, middle sector and final sector very respectable. Martin Mergley goes in to P number 2, Lexi Taylor and Jack Howells with very slow middle and final sectors as Francesco Adamo goes on to provisional pole. Christian Barnoni just slots in behind.
Oh, the Alpine is off.
These times to continue to tumble.
Goodness me, Stefan in the Alpine went off into the last corner, and that is not just that lap, but the next lap gone. And if I was him, I would go in. Are they actually allowed to pit and get new tires on?
Yes.
Yes,
yes they are.
So yes. I would do that if I were him, getting new tires on, because as you slide around, you will flat spot the tires as well. So those tires, depending on how much he slided, will be bumpy. It will be a bumpy ride there for him.
Yeah, as see purple Mills first sector from Roman Freiron. A lot of cars currently improving up and down the field.
And he's just trying to go around here. So let's see here. Marvin Butson, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Butson in the 50 Ferrari, and that's the VT. I have a question actually, and you might be able to answer this, because I've done a lot of the graphic works for this particular league. Is there any reason why people have chosen the VC variant of the liveries? Because I've seen so many of them that it can't be a coincidence at this point.
It's just there's not really any difference between the two liveries. It's just the number panel. So some people like yellow, some people like white.
Yeah, well, it's
as simple as that.
It's just so many that I didn't think about it. So let's just get the tower back on so you guys can see what is going on here with Adam actually still, Francisco Adamu in the Ferrari here on pole right now with Jack Howells in P2, another Ferrari. And Martin in the Porsche, he's really proving out there that if you're just comfortable with a car, the BOP is not what's really gonna be the difference maker out there.
No, Christian Bononi, Pascal Gerrig, Jimmy Menard, Roman Freiron. There's so many cars in that top 10 who could challenge for like those front two rows, but at the moment it is the Ferraris on top. as now down into the double right-hander, just clipping the curb and using all the exit. Just slightly down on that first sector, but still a personal best. Through sector 2, 3.5 tenths off the pace as Adam Kasparov goes into P number 3. And down towards the final corner we go. Hold it to the left, and then bring it all the way to the right. Just stay off the curb, take all the first curb, all the exit curb, and then you take all of that second curb and run all of the exit. Carry as much momentum down towards the line and cut it as short as possible. And he's setting up for yet another lap, a 30.3, and that keeps him where he is at the moment.
As we just have Lucas Kurz getting up into P7 in the number 7 Toyota, and we didn't see this livery last season. We saw Toyotas, but they were all number 8, so good to see the number 7 out there as well, getting up into P7. But it doesn't look like the Toyotas that we have in here are really that strong about here, as we see Sharon Sobers around here. Some of you who looked and saw our league last season might remember him in the BMW. He was one of the drivers who didn't you know, make much of a fuss out there, but he just kept on getting those points, and is again one of those who got automatic entry due to his you know, championship position, which is one of the things that these drivers are also fighting for, not just the prize pool as we talked about, but also just getting into that, you know, get the opportunity to actually qualify for not just this league but also the tier above if you get good enough. And he gets into P13, so he will not be happy with that. I think he definitely wanna improve that, but right now he has he has the Lamborghini in front of him, and that is Janis Briega, who is P14, so run from him. And with these cars, even though they are not as aero sensitive as the Formula 1 cars, you do not want to be that close to another car during qualifying.
No, the dirty air is certainly in effect. You're looking around 3 seconds it comes to effect, maybe cost you about 2 or 3 tenths in these quali trim laps as Martin Mergley goes into P number 2 and Roman Freyon into P5.
As we just see here, Stefan, he is now currently trying to set a lap time in his Alpine, as there's a lot of curb on the outside there, and he's a second off. I think he's just throttling around there, and it has to be said that Stefan is one of our reserve drivers, isn't he?
Yeah, so Stefan's got a call up for this round. He's not going to be scoring any points, so he's not going to have any effect in terms of championship-wise with the regular gold season drivers. But he is here to go have some fun and show what he can do. And maybe if he has a couple of good results, he might find himself in the gold split next season.
Definitely.
As Francesco Admiral pulls into pit lane and calls his qualifying a day 29.5, showing strong at the moment.
Definitely, and I just got a question in the chat if we're gonna see any of the hypercars without a valid lap, and I can tell you all of them have set a valid lap. Are they competitive or not? That's definitely something that we can talk about. But Martin here just crawling around, and let's see if he is gonna be a menace to the others. As Roman Marchand here, he has been invalidating his lap into the second sector, and he's just attacking here. Did he cross the finish line after the yeah, so he won't be improving. This is just for him to get more laps under his belt.
Yeah, it's always good just to keep the flow going, as Pascal Gervig goes purple in sector 1, down to sector 2, all of the curb on the first apex. You just want to clip this second apex, does that nicely, uses all of the exit but not too much, and now down towards very anti-outer, down into second gear. First gear, use all the first curb, all the second curb, and then
lost it all
on the exit.
Yeah, but he has lost it all in the second sector. He is half a second down. So let's see if he's gonna finish this lap or if he's gonna go into the pits. Is it gonna be an improvement? He's 6 tenths off, so can he keep the momentum up doing all the way down into the start finish straight? Will it be an improvement? He's P8 currently and is P6, so an improvement 2 positions.
Yeah, and only about a tenth and a half, 2 tenths quicker that lap, but he's shot him from around P9 up to P6 with how close his field is. As Jack Howell's down now into P2, Marvin Butson is only about 3.5 tenths down as he enters sector 3, down towards the final couple of corners. Braking hard down towards first gear, use all that first apex, run it out, keep it within track limits, and then all the second curb as well. Exactly the same, carry the momentum down towards the line, and he's going to pull off into pit lane.
And that is anticlimactic.
So Francesco Adamau is your pole sitter for the first race of the season. Jack Howell's only a tenth and a half behind, and then Martin Mergoli, Adam Saspar, Christian Bonanoni, Pascal Gerrig, Roman Freirom, Barnabas Fazekas, Lucas Kreuzer, Roman Marchand, Marvin Butson, Jimmy Maynard, Sachin Sobers, Yanis Bagheera, Lexi Taylor, Oliver Demolians, and Stefan Kohler, and that is your Hypercar grid.
Let's that's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited to see where this is gonna go, but we definitely we were talking about having the Ferraris up there, and it's gonna be just the LMH H's show, but those Porsches have definitely come to fight there, and yeah, Martin will be fighting. He's in P3, so he's not without contention here. That could be interesting to see.
Yeah, both Martin and Christian, both very solid lap times. The LMDH is expected to lose around 5-6 tenths in terms of ultimate lap time from the BOP changes that came with the most recent patch. But it's all down to the driver to extract that lap time, and they did manage to get very solid starting positions as we are now in the gridding phase.
This is where drivers are looking into, alright, have I run with a qualifying setup? Have I done all the fuel that I'm gonna need for this particular race, and all of that, and then you get into and click on race, and you just sat there for, it feels like an eternity, but it's like 1.5 minutes. But it just feels like an eternity when you click there. And the horror is when you get into like the last 10 seconds and you realize, oh, I forgot to put the fuel into the car.
Yes, it's you'll see all of these cars go on to full fuel. You've got an hour race. You might be able to stretch the fuel, but it's going to be very much either a lift and coast race, which is what I'd sort of expect here. Very difficult to overtake. Pit stop is going to be very, very costly. Looking around 40 seconds time loss for the pit stop with no tyres. Whereas lifting and coasting, you can hold that track position quite easily. You can lift probably and save about 5-6 laps worth of fuel here. So it's going to be very much a pace limited race. So expect probably about the top 8 all to be heavy lift and coast, but nose to tail, and it's gonna all come down to the wire right at the end. But we are just about to get the formation lap underway.
And we definitely are here, and as some of you who might have joined us late at asking where are the GT3s. The GT3s qualified first, and it was Zach Dillon in P1, and then we have Mark Luchev in P2 and Julian Weisberg in P3 for that. But as we are rolling down the hill and getting this started, the tower's on, the tires are warming up, the engines are heated up. We are about rolling on to the VMS Coach Dave Season 2 Pro Series here, and this is the gold split. Don't adjust anything. We are about to go live we have an all Ferrari starting grid here, as we will get everything on the way. Will Francesco be able to keep the position? The Porsches are blinking. That is how they are when they're getting up onto the finish straight. This is, it's just interesting. I'm just really hyped for this. Season 2 is go, 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 and it's Jack who get the better start, and Francesco has lost the lead already, and there's juggling for positions all the way up and down the field as Martin is piling on the pressure here. He's trying to see if he can get in there. He's losing, or will he keep that P3? He has lost the position to Adam Kasper here behind him, but let's see if they can all get through the first couple of corners. And we have the Ferrari off in the back distance. We have no idea who that is right now, but the fighting in the front here right now. Martin is battling and keeping, piling on. That's Pascal into the kitty litter, and he keeps on that P4. He was getting bumped down by those Porsches. Oh my god, they're really fighting down there. They're what, full wide into up into the corners here. Oh, that's an incident. That is Schobers, and he's off, and that's a heavy impact into the wall.
Yeah, just pushed on to the grass there from 4 wide, trying to settle it down into 2 as Zach Doran holds his lead in GT3. Jack Howell's amazing jump on the start as Martin Mergley has got a drive-through penalty from the race start, and Francesco Adamar is going to be kicking himself that he's not managed to hold on to track position, but he's going to stay right behind him and probably save fuel for this first half of the race at least. It's very much a strategy thinking game from here until the end, as fuel is going to be so quick here.
Ours definitely are him. We have a lot of growling into the GT3s, and it is still Zach who kept that lead, and he is now just minding his own business, trying to get into rhythm. And we have the Ole here, so it is Duran in P1, and then it's Bischoff, Weisenberger, Barkley, Maki Yobi, Kaspersik, one of our contender drivers from last season. Oh, as we see Yobi all into the kitty litter there. Giovanni, Di Battista, NG. You said that was really his name, NG, as the last name.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus, yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so Adrian Kobaki rounds out your top 10, but Zach Doran, he's got 8 tenths of a buffer behind, and so he's going to be managing his tyres for the time being. Christian Barnoni just losing out to Pascal Gerwig on the start. He's going to be looking for retribution and probably eyeing up a move into turn number 1, using all the curb on the entry, slightly wide on the apex, trying to open up this final corner to get a better run, which he seems to do. Is he going to be able to look for a move down into turn number 1, into the slipstream, rising through the gears? He's going to look slightly to the inside, shows his nose, and just sits in behind for the time being.
This is just all about really piling on the pressure now with Pascal up there, and as he just made a huge mistake and lost a lot of time there. But yeah, just piling on the pressure and try to see if you can get your opponent to make a mistake. But the Porsches looked to lose a lot of time at the beginning of the race. Oh, as we have contact, Lexi Taylor trying to go into the inside of Martin, but that right behind is Marvin Boutsen, and he is fighting with Jamie Maynard, and there were a little bit of contact there. But yeah, it was just Lexi Taylor losing out, trying to overtake Martin there into the hairpin, and that got his car into a little bit of a oversteer, and he has to correct that and lost positions for that. As we will just look back here, there's well, right now it's just, as you said, a position race, and Well, the only driver we have lost is really Sobis there. And did you have a look? Oh, as much as that is a dive and a half, and he's just putting the Lamborghini onto the kitty litter, and that was never gonna be a move there, Martin. And he's just hitting one car after another and trying to push the Ferrari out of room there. Let's see, give him race there. Oh, and he's losing that position right after that contact. Oh, there's more contact there. He has had 3 contacts in 1 lap here. It's all going off here in the Gold Series.
Yeah, Jimmy Maynard trying to be aggressive, trying to get round Romain Marchand, seemingly being the cork in the bottle as Marchand runs slightly wide, and Jimmy Maynard is able to sweep around the outside. Marchand tries to hold it on the inside, gets a slightly worse exit, and Jimmy Maynard now on the outside. He's almost clear, but Marchand still has the inside and has been cleared by Jimmy Maynard. Now it's Marvin Butson's turn to pile on the pressure. He's going to be looking all over the rear end of the Toyota. Through towards the end of sector 2. Slightly narrower entry, trying to fill his mirrors and maybe look for a move into the final couple of corners.
And I see that some of you are saying, oh, driver standards, but it's really, really difficult for these drivers to keep, piling on the pressure, and when they're fighting here, it's just small bumping and banging, because they are all so fast, so you're just not gonna have any easy passes in the Pro Gold Split, so sometimes they're banging a little bit doors up there. But let's go back into our GG3. Zach here, he's having a stroll in the Italian countryside. He's now 2.3 seconds ahead of Marco, who still have Julian behind, and he is really just the lonely Italian mark within the massive Ford sandwich here, with Julian and Nico behind him there fighting and just sliding around, and that can't be good for the tires, especially if they're gonna last a whole hour here.
Yeah, the Ford has seemed to be quite strong at Imola in the most recent update, as Weisenberg has Marco Bischoff just in his sights up in front. Nico Barkley as well. He's had a very good start, it seems. I think he gained one or two positions possibly in the first lap or so, but rule 1 in these races is to keep your nose clean to start off.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Martin is all the way down. What has happened to him? He's in P16.
Drive-through.
Oh, that's the drive-through. That
Yeah,
was the one you talked about. Oh my god, he will be kicking himself for that. And so easy to get around here as well. Just getting that start, and we have here Stefan. Just look at that LP. We have to see it, guys. We have to see it, and you will see it in the Pro as well. But getting up into the battle with Christian here, Bonani, and he is getting closer and closer as well, as we see a small lockup from Pascal in the Peugeot in front. That Peugeot that they found out that without a rear wing, it wasn't really that fast anyway.
No, the very different concepts from Peugeot in the past, with the wingless lower. As Ferrari off in the background, I believe that was Nick Dealey at Variante Alpha. Is it Variante Alpha? I can't remember. But Christian Barnoni right on the gearbox of Pascal Gerwig. Lewis taking a bit too much curve, it seems, through the chicane, just dropping back just a little bit, not able to get the run into the final couple of corners, but it seems like it's going to be a battle that spans the entire race.
Oh, as he's really piling on the pressure. But right now, what you're doing is you're also using a lot of your front tires as well, just trying to keep on here. But he has gotten a great exit here, but it doesn't really look like that Porsche have much grunt on to the start being straight. But a thing that we haven't talked about, you and I, in this particular league and series when you're driving multi-class racing is that traffic give and traffic taketh. They will have to overtake, as we are seeing right here. Jack Hoswell got that P1 onto the start-finish straight and into turn 1, and hasn't looked back since. But now he will see some of the LMGT3 traffic, and it's not gonna be easy around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of short straights where you can maybe get 1 or 2 GTs at a time. The only real easy opportunities down that main straight. The rest of them, you've got to be really time your moves correctly. You can easily get caught up behind one, especially in the chicanes throughout the lap, as Christian Barnoni looks down the inside of Pascal Gervig all over the curb.
I think it's contact.
Hold it, but not able to make a move. Too far back in the end for the first part, and dropped back just a little bit. But Francesco Adama and Jack House, they pulled away quite a bit, about 5 seconds now, from Adam Kaspar, who is still in a respectable P3 for a 1, 2 and 3. It seems like it's a 2024 Imola repeat at the moment.
Oh, well, it might be, but let's see when we get to the end. I have no idea. You guys maybe tested, or you have tested a lot more than I have. If the Hyper or the LMDHs are more easy on the tank, and maybe can do a little bit more. But ooh, as we see Christian here, and that is what we talked about with the traffic, just losing a little bit there, and now he's 1.5 seconds off. So it will definitely be something to keep an eye out. But down into the GT3 battle, because one thing is to overtake lap traffic, another is getting lapped. That is a skill in itself, as we have Kaspersek here in P6, respectable P6, and already within the first race, really showing him at the top end of the GT3 series here, with the Force in front, and that is the yellow front of how would you pronounce that last name? I'm not really sure.
Yoamaki Yupi.
Yoamaki. Yep, I'm gonna forget that in a minute. As we just saw there, Kaspersek just getting his McLaren turned in just a little bit later than he probably would, but without hitting any of the Ferrari and losing too much time here. But saving a bit of fuel, just trying to see if he can get onto the last end of this. If we go back up front, can see Zach here. He's 5 seconds in the lead, and yeah, that's a stroll right there. Oh, as we see, one of the Ferraris, that will be Adam
Stapler.
Oh!
And Pascal Gervig's got in front of him. Crucial mistake there from Adam, trying to go round the outside of Maxime Bischoff in turn number 3, and just misjudging the distance that he had towards the outside, as that allowed Pascal Gervig to get past him, and now he's got Christian Barnoni in his mirrors. So difficult as a GT you're told to stay to your racing lane, stay predictable, and you'll see these hypercars darting left, right and centre, and sometimes they'll go for a move, expect you to just leave them a car's width on the outside when you've already committed. It's so difficult. You have to have eyes everywhere in these GT cars, especially when you've got these hypercars going and lapping around, as Jimmy Maynard splitting the difference between a couple of the GT3s.
As I can see that my PC is not really having a great time here with the game. I got some stutters. Do you have that as well? Or is it just on my end? YouTube chat, yeah, YouTube chat. Please say if you guys are seeing stutters as well. Oh, as we see a move to the inside, and that is Kaspersek losing, or is he gaining? Oh, he's fighting Nico Bellic, and we have our first Hypercar into the pits. One of the Ferraris. That was fast, but
yeah, Lex Taylor into pit lane. Might just be a fuel only. Go early, try and stay out the traffic maybe.
Ooh, that's contact. Yeah, or maybe if he has gotten some damage, that could be an indicator that the car is not performing as he wants, or have done too much of a lock up that could really damage your, just the feel when you're driving. That's that could be one of the things. There's a lot of things that can happen there when you're driving, when you're racing like they are here. And just as we go up here, Christian here, he's really liking the rear end of the other cars right now. He's piling on the pressure and see if he can get one of them to make a mistake, and as you said, attacking that curb extremely hard.
Yeah, he's through Variante Alto. It's so crucial to take as much curb as possible, especially on the entry. Try and open it up and get a better exit. Taking a lot of the curb in the penultimate corner and the final corner seems to get a slightly better run compared to the Ferrari, but the power bot just dropping back a little bit on the initial acceleration as into this slipstream. Is he going to be close enough to make a move into turn number 1? He looks at it and he's going for it down to turn 1.
Ooh, that's a
and a
lock
little
up.
bit of contact leaves enough room, but the Ferrari decides to take to the gravel, cut across, and is now going to defend Adam. Christian going to look around the outside, and he's going to make it stick.
Oh, and sending Adam into the kid litter at the same time. That was some bold racing there, but Adam should maybe have given that position up when he caught the chicane anyway. But going from P3 to P5 in the span of 2 laps has not been the best for him, and now it's just getting back down there and refocus, as he's now getting Roman at the back in the Cadillac at the same time, just not really being able to get a moment of peace here.
No, it's for Adam, it's really good qualifying, seeming just to drop back a little bit, struggling a little bit on pace, and just trying to push to make up for that little bit of time loss, and he's just creeping in a couple of mistakes here and there, slightly wide in the penultimate corner, but he's going to try and keep with Christian Barnoni. They seem to have similar-ish pace, so hopefully it is something that he can recuperate from as Roman Ferron joins this battle, and you've got Barnabas Fazekas just lurking behind as well.
Yeah, he's trying with the French here and trying to see if he can get up to that battle, and if you get it close enough, as soon as these guys are gonna lap traffic again, he will be within the mix. So just pushing, and as we still see some of the cars up there all fighting, and as we saw Marchand in the rear there, just getting it a little bit too much. So as we talked about, off tracks is still a thing, and that is just really what is gonna happen. Like you have those 3 points. So explain to the viewers, so if you get an off track, is it immediately 1 point, or could you save that point?
So you'll get a calculation come up. So initially it might be green, it might be yellow, it might be orange, and then depending on if or not you've gained time, and so you can have anything from 0 track limit points to 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, all the way up to even an instant drive-through, depending on how big of a track limit cut you've taken, and it's all about giving time back as well. You've got 3 of these points to play with, so as soon as you hit 3 points, you'll get a drive-through in-game to take, but it's quite easy to give the track limit cuts back. You'll see a lot of different lines compared to qualifying because of this as well. As down into the first corner this battle group goes, still line astern, but keeping.
Yes, as we are now 20 minutes into race, let's just see if we can have a look at the energy remaining. So right now they are all around the 50 mark, but what we are seeing here is Maynard in P10 on the overlay here, saying he's only having 23%, so he's definitely thinking about going into the pits and fueling up. I don't think he has thought about being able to run towards the end of the race. But if they are already at 50%, I don't think a lot of these drivers are going to make it.
No, as it stands, if that is the situation, it's going to be an easy one-stop race. Looking about half the time could be maybe about 55%. You'll look at refilling up to as across the chicane goes from Marchand. Small mistake, and Jimmy Maynard is going to capitalise from that.
And that's what happens sometimes, and just taking way too much curb on the inside, and Marchand is not having one of his better races here, definitely, and making some small mistakes here. But this, guys, here is the battle for P4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars right behind him here, almost within a second. So Adam is the cork in the bottle right now, and he has lost 3.5 seconds up to Pascal, as they're now trying to get onto the GT3s, and the GT3s will just be thinking, oh my god, not again.
Yeah, you need 4 pairs of eyes as a GT driver here. You need one looking left, right, one behind them, one keeping forward as well. You've got Hypercars overtaking left, right and centre, usually on the straights at least, but you'll see a couple trying it around the outside, trying to get cutbacks as well, especially here at turn number 8, as Nick Dealey is currently in P15 in GT, but we've got a couple of battles further up ahead. Adam Kaspar still, though, keeping Christian Bonanoni behind as we look at Lucas Kreuzer, who's got Jimmy Maynard right behind him. Jimmy, disappointing qualifying for him, I think, but he's right on the back, down into the penultimate corner. He's going to look to the inside, and he's going to make the move stick. It seems cleared him before the apex makes the corner, and that is another position gained for him. Up to P8 now, and his sights are now set on Barnabas Fazekas, who's looking right on the gearbox of Roman Freiron. Down towards turn 1, a bit too far back, I would say, to be able to make a move into turn 1.
Yeah, but I think we've seen here, you know, the LMDH just seems to be maybe having a little bit more grunt on the top end, as from just the Cadillac. It could just be the Cadillac, but we also saw some of the Porsches there with Christian earlier on, so that might be one of the things that they have a little bit of an advantage for us. On our main thing, we have now gone a couple of minutes without seeing the Alpine. It is still there, it's still blue, it still looks amazing, it sounds amazing. But in the GT3 land, we still have Zach Duran, and he's just getting way up out there. He's 8 seconds in front of Marco Bischoff in the Ferrari, with Julian Weisenberger here getting on there, and I can't see energy remaining for the GT3, so we have no idea how it's gonna pan out for them. But they are also in a battle here with Nico Barkley and Kaspersik. Those two have been fighting for quite a while, and they're within 0.3 of a second. So if a LMDH or one of the hypercars are gonna overtake and make Kaspersik lose one of the apexes, that could be Nico Barkley's opportunity to really overtake there.
Yeah, it's a skill in GT, just getting laps, trying to monitor everything with the traffic. You want to try and just make it so you clear, so the hypercar clears you before you turn in, so you've got a nice clear turn in, but you have some hypercars who try and dip a wheel alongside into the apex. Nico Barkley still going strong as well, and you've got Aaron De Battista and Adrian Kobaki just behind in the BMWs as well. As Aaron just a bit wide.
Yeah, just with those two wheels, as we see one of our hypercars getting up there, one of the Peugeots that we didn't see last season at all. Going now slalom. Oh, as we have Barkley, he's trying to go onto the outside into the chicane here, but he's thinking better of it, as he's now losing a lot of time there, as we have a yellow flag. somewhere around the corner, and that's Jack Howell.
It's Jack Howell.
Oh,
Yeah, Jack Howell. What has happened for Jack? Is it a timing error maybe? Because he seemed to lose a lot of time.
He disappeared on my
compared
screen,
to Jack
and he's now in P2. Francesco, we have a new leader here. What has happened for Jack House? We have no idea. He might have had a lag issue that has put him behind. We don't know, unfortunately. But a new leader in the Hypercar and the leading of the field. So, yeah, now within half a second, and Jack House, who thought, I have this race under under my nails, and I can just go around here. Now he has to fight Adam you there. Yeah, change in the top.
Yeah, quite unlucky for Jack. Like we say, not sure exactly what happened, but if it's a game issue, that is highly disappointing. As they just come past Zach Doran. Pascal Gerwig dropping back into the clutches of Adam Kasper. Christian Bononi has fallen just off a little bit. All this is mainly going to be due to traffic as they come through the leaders of GT3. Christian Bononi having to wait behind Marco Bischoff through the chicane and down towards the final sector. Jimmy Maynard, is he going to look at a move on Barnabas Fazekas? They clear the Mustang. Are they going to be able to clear the Ferrari in front? No, they won't, as the Porsche in front, or the Cadillac in front clears them. Barnabas Fazekas going to look around the outside, can't get it. Jimmy Maynard's got the overlap, and he's down towards 2-1. They're going to go side by side. Slipstream favouring Maynard as trying to hold on to that left rear of the Peugeots. Got the inside line, and he's cleared into the braking zone. So a solid move there as Barnabas Fazekas drops down to P number 8. Jim Maynard, good recovery drive from his qualifying so far, and let's see how far he can get up the grid.
Yeah, and he got that one because of traffic, as well as we talked about. Babas trying to see if he could get the car on the outside, and he just lost a lot of time there and didn't get the exit correct. So sometimes just staying behind and really getting the exit is more important than actually getting in front of them through one of the corners, because in the slowest of the corners around here, the LMG GT3 is actually faster, as we have a yellow flag, and that is Marcus Engie. He's out. Marcus Engie is DNF'd on my screen here, and I think, is he that on yours as well?
Yes he is, yeah.
So unfortunately he has been told by the game to hit the shower. We don't know what has happened to him, because we still don't have function replays that don't interfere too much with our overlay and overall graphics and stuff like that, how it works. So we will wait, and hopefully getting that feature in at some point. What the guys have to think about as well, looking at this beautiful game here, is this game is still in early access, and you can still buy it and not pay full retail price for it. So if you want to experience what these drivers are doing out here, driving at the limit in multi-class endurance racing, and have a game that really just drives and feels amazing. Some of the best racing in sim racing, as Maynard is trying to get, and he is just accelerating out of the corner, and Roman never really had to fight that. Didn't have any traction at all. It looked like he was in a different class. But you're just going back to, you can still get the game, buy the game, drive the game to a shorter price. So if you like what you see, join the community. Maybe try and see if you can get into CC3.
Yeah, certainly LMU still a lot of potential to grow from. Driver swaps expected in the next couple months at the moment, as Christian Bononi right on the back of Adam Kasper once again. They have pulled away from Roman Freiron now, as Jack Howes is still hunting down Francesco Adamo, wanting that position back, as they are once again catching the GT3s and also the tail end of the hypercars as well.
Yeah, and that is Jerome Martel that they are trying to overtake in the Corvette there, and he's just right now when you're that close, you're just as the second driver, you're just fighting and attacking. As Maynard is in the pits, and that was what we saw about earlier. He did not have as much virtual energy in the tank as the others had, and virtual energy is the amount of energy you are allowed to use over a whole stint, being electric or fuel. So they've calculated how much fuel is in energy, so you get a certain amount that you're allowed to fuel. So you can actually see some of these cars being in the pits, just holding and getting their virtual energy restored without actually getting any fuel on the cars.
Yeah, 30 minutes into the race, splitting it 50-50. I'm surprised he didn't initially take on a full tank, just because it'll be a little bit short of refuel. But hopefully it'll work out for him, as down towards turn 1, Jack Howell seems a little bit closer than before. Is he going to be able to make a move down to turn 1 into the stitching, closing, and he's going to lift off and just stay behind Francesco Adamo for right now. Slightly wide with a slide, and Jack Howell's still right on the gearbox, but not able to get the run down into the Villeneuve chicane. Now down towards Toza, and it seems that Francesco has recovered from the small mistake.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, it's Ferrari on Ferrari, it's a slipstream as well in these cars. It's not as extreme as what we see in other series, due to these cars actually made for racing with other cars and traffic in mind, which is what makes them, yeah, some of the greatest cars out there. But a thought I had on the Maynard situation: if you don't put in a full tank of fuel, you might put less strain on the tires as well, because you don't carry around as much fuel, maybe.
Yeah, there's a few reasons why you might not fill a fuel tank. Obviously, if you're not going a full stint, you've only got a short stint. That is one of the things that makes sense. In terms of at the start of the race, it's free fuel, so it's a bit surprising, but it's not something that I won't say is unexpected. You will see a couple do that and try and get that major undercut and be in a lot of free air. So hopefully he'll be able to close up to the back of Christian Belloni over the pit cycle, as Adam Kaspar is still stuck behind Pascal Gerrig. You've got these three covered by about a second in total, and they have been pretty much string on a tow rope this whole race.
Yeah, they definitely have, and in the GT3 we still have William here trying to get in amongst the mighty Fords up there. He is, and see, I've forgot it right as I saw the beautiful Alpine there, but he's trying to see if he can get past the number 44 in front of him, and within 0.4 of a second, just see these GT3s, they're just sliding around a bit, and you're just taking more and more out of your tires, but that's just the nature of the GT3s as well. If you don't slide just a little bit, then you are slow, but when you slide, you are using more tires.
Yeah, these guys, they are pushing quite hard. You want to use as much of the track as possible. Martin Mergley is on a recovery mission. He's got Marvin Butzin just ahead of him, as well as Oliver Demoliens, who runs a little bit wide out of turn number 11 down towards the chicane. Marvin Butzin looking on the outside, not going to be able to get through there too wide. Martin Mergley's got a much better exit, and he's going to look for a move down into the penultimate corner. Marvin Butzin covering off, and Mergley down the inside. A little bit of contact, manages to get it stopped and clears the Ferrari into the penultimate corner, around the final corner as well. and that is a position that gained up to 12th. So starting his recovery strong, and now his sights are set on Oliver Demolians.
He thought about that from a long way behind. He was like, I'm gonna go down there, you know, come hell or high water, and he definitely did that. And as you saw, talked about, he's on a recovery drive, so he should really be in front of some of these drivers that he's fighting with right now. But actually, just looking at it, Jimmy here, he's further down behind, so he's lost quite a lot on that pit stop. He's even behind Stefan here in the beautiful car, as we have one of our Toyotas.
Lucas Kreuzer.
Yeah, off there, Lucas Kreuzer in the number 7. Now he's lost a couple of positions from that excursion. Ooh, that does not look happy, that Toyota there. And if you have spun the car, and the tires will get some flat spots, and you will feel that rumble in the wheel as Roman is off. Roman is off in the last corner. Wow, that's a Cadillac there, and what has happened here, I think he's just taken a lot of exit air curb there and has hit the wall, and there's a little bit of damage on that Cadillac. We don't know how much that is, but he looked in such a good position, trying to get up with P7, and now he's all the way down to P10. So losing a lot of time, but not a lot of positions. There's some gaps in between here, but he will be devastated with that mistake.
Yeah, quite easy to drop the rear over the edge of the curb, and you get a bit of a power torque spike on as you rejoin off the curb, and that can cause you to lose the rear, especially in the final corner. A bit of nose damage. Looked reasonably okay, so it might be around a 15-20 second repair, maybe losing about half a second a lap possibly. In that, it's whether or not when he comes to pit, if he repairs it or not. Jack Howell's still only half a second behind, as Oliver Demolians is now behind Marvin Butson as well.
Yeah, and I think he just lost the position onto the top of the hill there, and well, Demolian just getting around here, and what we have least seen from him, I remember he has heart. He's just there every single week. That is really why he's in here. Consistency is key to a championship, and because we have seen sometimes, well, some drivers are not able to be there, and with the competitiveness of these leagues, if you are out 1 or 2 weeks, then you are going from battling for the championship to maybe even not being the top 10 at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long season as well. 9 rounds, 6 sprint rounds like this, so 1 hour races, and then 3 endurance rounds, 2 hour 40-minute races. They are really proper endurance races for a solo driver, as Jack Howell's still staring at the back of Francesco Adamel. Seems to be saving just a little bit more virtual energy, but they are roughly in the same ballpark as past Zach Duron yet again down into the final couple of corners. Francesco's been driving brilliantly so far, not really put a foot wrong.
No, definitely not, and he's well, the pace might be a bit slower than what Jack was able to do, but we didn't see what happened to him, and now he's in P2, but piling on the pressure. As we go back into the battle here for P3, as we saw earlier, Pascal was like 3 seconds ahead of both Adam and Bonani. But as Casper, that was a slide and a half, and the rear tires will give you a letter of resignation after that. Oh, you're just overheating those tires, and it just takes a couple of corners, maybe even half a lap, to really get that under control again, and he's under pressure immediately by Christian Bonani right there.
Yeah, it's just Christian's time to strike. Get in before the pit stops, which are going to be in around 5-10 minutes, I would expect, as through Marvin Butts in pit lane. Same with Oliver the Molians as well, pulling the plug a little bit early maybe. But you are looking around that 40-45 minute mark really for the hypercars at full tilt down towards Variante Alta, all getting past the GT nice and cleanly, and it seems like Adam Kaspar has recovered.
Yeah, and as we see here, the lone Ford out there, it is Zach who has been taking the gold lead right here in his black and gold Ford Mustang. He's been really dominant here from the qualifying as well. I think all 3 of his lap times were good enough to actually be on pole position, and well, Marco has not really had anything to fight with, but is just staying there. We saw last season, if you get in there and just get those positions, those points, when even on days where you're maybe not the fastest, at come the end of the season, you will get something out of that, and you will be within the hunt. Right now, today we are having one of our sprint races because it's only an hour, but they also do races that are slightly longer, don't they?
Yeah, so 2 hour 40-minute races, couple of pit stops, and strategy that is all over the place. You won't know who's going to be leading until about 5 minutes to go. But in these races, only 25 points for the win compared to the 38 on offer in the endurance races. So not quite as much meaning, but there's more of them, so every single point will matter. As Christian Barnoni, looking at Adam Kaspar, goes over both of the curbs and is not quite able to get the run into the penultimate corner, but he's still hounding the gearbox of that Ferrari down into the final couple of corners, looking outside, inside, trying to see if there is a potential opportunity, and down towards turn 1 they go again. Only about a tenth and a half between your leaders now. Jack really piling on the pressure as well, down towards the Villeneuve chicane. These 2 are nose to tail.
They are definitely not saving right now. They are pushing and pushing. They think there's gonna be a pit stop as he goes to the inside, and that is a pass for the lead here. And he has taken Francesco into the corner there, and he got that from the back. And as we see side by side, Pascal, he is lost to Adam Kaspar, and he's lost to Christian Bonini, as well as we have one of the cars off there. Who will that be? Oh, that is, I think that's Lexi Taylor there.
Yeah.
As Pascal is looking on the inside, but thinking better of it, thinking I have to fight another day, but he's gone from P3 all the way down to P5, and maybe now the tires on that Peugeot is going off a little bit, as we see him just having a couple of oversteer moments. But yeah, we grabbed the battle for the lead, and the battle for P3 had to go on at the same time. We talked about the drivers maybe trying to have these battle individually so we could actually see them, but they don't listen, as always.
Now, and you've also got the 2 777 D-Station Racing Aston Martins nose to tail. Marco Galetti trying to eye up and move on Bellezio Neto. Bellezio slightly wide. Marco having a decent run, looks to the inside, is too far back to make the move. He's going to have to set himself up for later on in the lap.
Yeah, definitely, but not a lot of battling really going on in the GT3s, and we see these type of races sometimes where the GT3s are just getting you know, stretched out. And we tend to see them especially on these technical tracks where a lot of the hypercars have to overtake them, and that tends to stretch out a lot of the field. So the GT3s tend to just kind of be moving chicanes out there, but you have to hit your marks, and you have to really be good at being overtaken. That's not something that just comes naturally. As Adam Francesco has not given up right now. He is still trying to see if he can get that lead back.
Yeah, he's still going to try and keep on to the gearbox of Adam. They've had very, very similar pace seemed like it was just a small mistake from Francesco in the Villeneuve chicane, which opened the door up into Tosa. And traffic also plays a massive, massive part in these battles, even for the hypercars. If you get stuck behind a GT, all of a sudden you've got someone right on your gearbox, and then it's the way you move. If you go left or right, that becomes a critical decision to try and keep your position. If you go wrong, you'll have lost a position, as they're going to just slot in between the GTs. Adam out, not able to get the move as it runs slightly wide, freeing up the track space for the Ferrari, as Jack has cleared both of them. And we have got Pascal Gerrig in pit lane now as well,
as he is now taking that pit stop, and that's up, fuel, down, go. I don't think any of these drivers will take tires. We've seen the tires really take quite a long time, as Adam has lost quite a lot of time there. He's now almost 4 seconds off the lead, so yes, getting stuck behind one of the GTs maybe here. Ooh, as a battle, Nico Barkley has lost Kaspersik, as we saw them last time, but it is Adrian Quebec who is trying to see if he can get past him here, but he's now having one of the hypercars in between there, and what looked like an opportunity for a move just faded away with one of the hypercars in between again.
Yeah, this is where traffic really plays a part. It can break up battles, and it can also make them, and it will ebb and flow over the course of the race. So when you do get an opportunity, you have to make it count. And we see, I believe that's Jimmy Maynard passing through now. And it's going to be still another 13.5 minutes till the end. There's still going to be 5 or 6 opportunities probably for Adrian Kobaki to be able to pull and move off. He's still going to close in slowly on Nico Barkley, who has just dropped down a little bit off Maseko Spursik. But your GTs, apart from Zach Doran, it's still around 2-3 seconds sort of separating your top 10 really.
Yes, we have Christian in the pits, and he's going. This is such a long pit exit, and he's getting out there. See, he's gonna clear Pascal, I think, quite easily actually. So that is sometimes where, you know, if you have saved a little bit of energy, or maybe saved a little bit of fuel, those are seconds when you get out on the other end, and he's now 5 seconds ahead of Pascal out of the pits there, with even more pits here. Roman, Martin Mergel again in the pits. He's having one of his recovery drives because he got that drive through at the beginning, and this is really a race of what could have been, as Olivier Demolians just overtake him there, and he's now into P12. So 2 more positions to actually get a point, and that is what he will be looking for, as Adam Klasper is in the pits.
Yeah, Francesco Adamald's lost about 15 seconds in relation to Jack Howells then, so maybe a spin or something along those lines, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in a short while. We've got Julian Weisenberg as well in pit lane for his stop. These are just going to be fuel only from here on out.
And just if you guys are thinking about what's up with LMU, well, he is he's 18 seconds off now. What has happened? Oh, he's going slow. He's going really, really slow. Let's see.
According to Marco in chat, Adama has a USB related problem, so that might be wheel connection or something along those lines.
Oh my!
Not 100% sure.
And the battle
was 5th gear.
Yeah. Oh, the battle was heating up, and this is. Both of them have had issues at the top, and he will be gutted with this. And now trying to just crawl back to the pits here, but Christian Bologna, he will be looking forward to this, getting up there into a P2. He's been piling on the pressure and looking at the rear of other cars, but in the pits he has cleared Adam Klasbauer and Pascal here, in the Peugeot, and he is, well, 5 seconds up the road. So either he has saved quite a lot, or maybe he's underfueled.
Yeah, Barnabas Fazekas as well. He is P6. He's pulled off a blind over strategy, I believe, to be right on the tail of these two.
Has he pitted yet, actually?
I believe so.
Oh, he has. Yeah, definitely getting closer there, and up and trying to see if he can actually get into to P4. And as Francesco here, that the wheel is getting disconnected and connected. We just saw the wheel there. Is he gonna stay? Can he get the car back? And he is trying to drive out, so I think that's a control alt delete, but he will be out of contention for anything in the top 3. But maybe still points on offer there, but definitely shown that he is someone to be reckoned with for the gold split championship here, as the 2 Toyotas getting out in front of him, and Jimmy Maynard as well. He's in P8, so also a recovered drive for him, and we saw some amazing overtakes, and really a lot of overtakes where he just outbraked a lot of his competitors. So P8, he will be he will not be satisfied. He will be fighting to get up and in front of these 2 Toyotas, but it's looking like a good day.
Yeah, possible P6 when starting. I believe it was around 12th. Jimmy Maynard started only about 9/10 off pole, and you're starting in 12th. That's how competitive this series is, and he'll be very happy with himself to get up even to P8. P6 is on the cards as well for him. He's had really good pace during the race so far, as Pascal Gehrig has pulled away from Barnabas Fazekas. Romain Marchand as well. He's not really been anywhere. He's kept quiet, but he's managed to pull himself up into P6 as a yellow flag. I believe that is Rohan Freiron, who's had some sort of incident yet again. Martin Mergley, P10 from the drive-through. He's still got Francesco Adam out just in front of him. So if the issue persists, maybe he can hit another spot up. And we see also Yua Makiyupi got William Giovanni right behind him down into the Villeneuve chicane.
Yeah, and that is a battle that has been going on, and has been going on since the pit stop as well, and they have both been in there. So now it's just a race to the checkered. But Joao is just keeping quiet. He's in P4, and he has been trying to not make any mistakes. He has not had the pace of the other Fords up there, the black and gold and the Ferrari of Marco Bischoff, but nobody has been able to touch this man today. Zach Duran here, he is he's just been leading from the word go, and he's now overtaking one of our Porsches out there, Gustav. And the Porsche, we saw a lot of Porsches at the beginning of our qualifying, pre-qualifying. All of these drivers, or most of them, have done some pre-qualifying. What happened to the Porsche? I didn't really follow. Suddenly people were up on board about the Porsche, and we see here Gustav is just trying to keep up there. It looks slow out there. Oh, as he's going way off the track into the kid later.
And so is that Adam Kaspar just behind him. He's still got Pascal Gehrig on his tail. The Porsche seemed to have a lot of one lap potential, especially in the right hands, and was really, really quick. And so at some place it was over a second quicker than prior. And so they adjusted the BOP for it, which made it pull it back in line with the other cars, as they both clear the traffic just in front. And this is going to go right down to the end for the final podium spot. Pascal Gehrig had a solid race so far, a couple of small mistakes, but he's still in contention with Anna Kaspar. Christian Barnoni has put quite a good strategy to pull away from these two as well, who's been battling with for majority of the race.
Yeah, and as we just see the battle here, we have to remember to thank our sponsor, Coach David Delta. If you guys need a little bit of help with the setups to try and see if you can match the speed of these drivers, go to Coach Dave and get some not just a lot of telemetry, but also setups and maybe even a coaching session. So go there, and the best way that you can support us is giving this video a like, subscribing to our channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're not, it doesn't cost anything. It helps us out quite a bit, and help us out with choosing Coach Dave as your partner, as the XRL Esports as well, supporting us, and they have been here throughout the entirety, even in season 1. And yeah, so if you want to support us, go out there and support all of our partners as well, as this battle is still heating up, and trying to see if he can get closer to Adam Caspi here, as they're trying to get past the Ferrari. And that is what you see. I saw a comment in there that he hoped that the overtakes gets more safe. These drivers, it looks aggressive, and some of them are, but most of them are controlled, and they're getting close because they can get close, especially in this game. You can really get close to other cars without actually hitting them.
Yeah, it takes a lot of confidence to be lapping traffic at this level. You have to have a lot of faith in those around you as well, and you have to be very aware of your surroundings. As William Giovanni still on the tail of Euromaki Yupi through the right hand over the hill down towards Variante Alta, and he is going to still be searching for a possible overtake. Adrian Kobaki's got past Nico Barkley as well. I have just seen on the timing screen as down towards the final couple of corners we go.
Yeah, definitely. And this the hour has really flown by here, as we're just sitting on the nose of the BMW right now and just looking into those two cars. I have to say, when you're looking at them from the outside, they don't really look like race cars. They're so massive, so big, but yeah, interesting. The lightest GT3 actually in the field for quite a long time were actually the Boatley, if anybody remember the Bentley Continental, the biggest of the GT3s, but also the lightest for some reason. As a lot of our battles here are really just filling out into the sand here and into the Italian afternoon, with the Jack here. He's been fighting out there. He thought with Francesco, and those two really just took off in the lead and never looked back. And Jack here took the lead into turn 1, and is now having a gap of almost 20 seconds. So he's just looking to drive the clock down and getting those 25 points, and a great start for his campaign into to this Pro Gold Series here.
Yeah, lapping the GT traffic, just able to squeeze past the two of them. Nico Barkley and Adrian Kobaki still going at it. That will go down to the checkered flag as well. Nico has seemed to have just a little bit of extra pace in the last couple of laps, but still on the gearbox. Is he going to be able to get a run down towards the penultimate corner? Not quite able to, so he's going to have to try and set something up down into turn 1. We've got one more lap remaining as well, I believe, as slight slide from Nico Barkley round the final corner on the limit of the slip angle that you can use, and down towards turn number 1. The Mustang versus the BMW. Which of the bricks is able to get down into turn 1 first? And slipstream on the Mustang. Nico Barkley is going to look to go to the outside as Adrian Kobaki squeezed him just enough keeps it within the track limits. Nico Barkley trying to switch back through turn number 3, gets a run. Adrian Kobaki defending to the inside. Nico Barkley going to look around the outside, and it has to slot in behind, try and force a mistake through the Villeneuve chicane, keeps it within track limits, and you've got a dive possibly down into Tozer round the outside. Nico Barkley, is he going to be able to make it stick? The side by side on the exit, slight slide from the BMW as they come up towards turn number 8, and Nico Barkley has got the move done.
Oh, what a pass.
Well
what
done.
a pass, and what grave respect and driving there. As we just see here, Jack, he is getting up there. The clock hits 0, and Cinderella is on her way to the prom. Jack has, if he doesn't make any mistakes in the last 2 corners, he will take the 25 points and lead in this championship, with Christian Baroni in P2, and it's gonna be Adam Kasper in P3, as I think Pascal has, taken that position. Said I'm gonna be P4. But here, the winner of round 1 of season 2 of Coach Delta Pro Series in the gold split, Jack Howells, and then here Christian Bonani, he's getting up there, and that is a great race. He has been behind a lot of cars, but at the end of the day, he got that better strategy and better fuel mileage, and he is in P2 with Adam in P3 and Pascal P4.
Yeah, and it's Zach Duran in GT as he's coming through sector number 2. Marco Bischoff currently in P2, Julian Weisenberg in P3 has taken checkered flag. So just Zach Duran and Marco Bischoff were waiting to cross the line in your GT class. William Giovanni P4, Euromaki UP has been overtaken and he is P5. Marcel Kasperzak is in P6. Nico Barkley P7 with that fantastic move around the outside of Tozer on Adrian Kobaki. Valerio Neto in P9 and Marco Galetti in P10. But as we round the final corner, it is going to be Zach Duran who's going to take the first GT3 win of the season and 25 points going his way.
Wow, that's amazing that the first time we see the Ford in this championship is one of the last of our drivers, Marco Bischoff. He is now P2, and that's a great drive from him, fighting off the mighty Americans and the Italian on the podiums. What a great driver. I think it's Jerome. Oh, he's also on there. So everybody has now crossed the finish line. Let's see if we can get this on here. So I'm just looking for the results. We have them here. So until anything other happens, this is I have it in only a lap. Let's just get it into GT3. It's just lap. So Zach Duran, he won the race with Marco Bischoff in P2, Julian Weisenberger P3, William Giovanni in P4. You have to take that one again. I can't say.
Euromaki UP is P5.
Yeah.
Masika Spurzik in P6 in the McLaren. Nico Barkley P7. Adrian Kobaki P number 8, and then Valerio Neto leads out Marco Galetti to round out your top 10. P11 is Aaron De Batista, Gustav Schubert in the Porsche in P number 12, Jerome Matrell P13 with Nick Dealey and Marcus NG rounding out your GT3s. And then in Hypercar, you've got Jack Howells who takes the win with Christian Bonanoni P number 2. Adam Kaspar with a good comeback from some early on mistakes is P3. Pascal Gehrig P4. Barnabas Fazekas is P5. Very quiet lurker during that race. Kept his nose clean, kept out of trouble, and managed to get a very solid result. Romain Marchand P number 6. Lucas Kreuzer P7. Then Jimmy Maynard. Francesco Adamao, who was fighting for a lead but had a couple of technical issues, which dropped him down the order. And then Martin Mergley rounding out your top 10 with a good recovery from a drive-through. Yanis Bagheera is P11 in the Soul Lamborghini with Roman Freiron in P12. Marvin Butson is P13 with Lexi Taylor P14. Olivia Demolians P15 with Stefan Kohler P16. And Sachin Sobers rounds out the grid.
And that is wow. That was really a great race, and what we thought would happen didn't happen. We were talking about maybe the drivers will do a zero stop, but all of them had to get into the pits, and will some of the stories. Sharon Sobers, who got I think it was a tap at the beginning and hit the wall, and then with Francesco Adami, who is having those technical issues. It's always so sad when a driver is, unfortunately, due to technical issues, not being able to really perform and get the points that he needed out there. But we also start out with quite a technical track for this opener of this series here in the Gold League. Because Imola is not an easy track to drive.
No, it's very technical. A lot of just trying to. It's all about getting the line right and using as much curb as possible. Really, really technical first and second sector as well. And then the third sector is all about that final couple of corners and being as late on the brakes as possible. Really easy as well to get a track limit. And so qualifying round here being super important, getting that crucial lap in. And that is what Francesco Adamant and Jack Howes managed to do. And unfortunately, from Francesco, he did have that technical issue, but those two looked in a class of their own. Zach Doran likes to flag victory. I mean, there's not really much more you can say about that. And we are off to Fuji in 2 weeks' time for the first endurance round of the season. But don't go anywhere. Join us on Friday for the first round of the Contender Series Silver Split, where they are going to be at. This was your cue, Nicholas.
I have no idea where they're at. I can't see them right now. I don't remember where they are. But joining us on Friday, and look on our socials. We will have the calendar on there so you can see where they are. But definitely tune in, because I remember the Contender Series. A lot of those drivers are hungry to get up there. We sometimes have drivers in Contender who due to the track that we are doing or pre-qualifying on, haven't put in the greatest laps, and sometimes have to fight and claw their way back up into gold, and maybe even up into plat. So definitely get on there. We always have some great racing here. But I will say thank you to you, James, and thank you to all of you in the chat and who has been watching the round one of the Coach Dave Delta Pro Series Gold Pro Split here. Thank you, and remember, like, subscribe if you have enjoyed it here. And we got through it, even though we had some technical issues just right before we went on here. So thank you for joining me, James.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, so we're at Sebring on Friday, and then we're back at Imola on Sunday for the Pro Platinum split, where likes of Michi Hoyer, Yurni Simicic, and James Baldwin are going to be fighting it out in another 60-minute sprint.
That's all for us. Thank you and good night.